Greetings to everybody. Let us continue our learning together in this literature reading classes where we try to read something from the master's teachings. At the same time, share our understanding so we all can grow together. Rived Daji has been talking about this concept of devotion, bhakti as it is called. And he has quoted Narada Bhakti Sutras several times and asked us to understand that because devotion is the highest expression towards divinity. And that state of devotion has a deeper strength for the being to move forward towards the emergence. And this devotion is from the state of the absolute, from the state of the matter, the body, the longing we have for the ultimate is contaminated with the worldly desires. In the field of consciousness, this feeling of longing becomes love, but it is still pulled by the power of the desire, power of the matter. So it is not completely authentic. When this feeling of love becomes so subtle that it moves to the absolute field, it is devotion. In this state of devotion, the sage Narada says, this physical body is the temple of divine, and it is important to take care of the body. The physical body is the house. That is why we should keep it clean, fresh, beautiful, and worthy of His presence. Imagine if our physical master comes to our house, if we hear that He's coming to our house. What do? We immediately start to clean our house. We want to make it presentable. So, this body also, in meditation, along with the heart and the mind and the soul, the body also has to be in a state of presentableness. And in devotion, it is very crucial to understand in the state of devotion the difference between the needs and the desires. It is the needs of the body that we fulfill, not the desires of the body. And so it is very important for us to differentiate between the luxury and the necessity to take care of the body. And this is what the sage Narada says about devotion. In devotion, you take care of the body because it has to be presentable to the Lord. But at the same time, you don't go overboard, and you have to have the discriminative ability between the need of the body and the desire of the body that requires luxury and the body's necessities. So he says devotion is a healthy, natural path. It's natural. In a state of devotion, it accepts you as you are along with your needs. Devotion doesn't require us to have unnecessary pain. Yeah, we long, but we don't suffer. And giving ourselves undue suffering or creating unnecessary stress will not lead you to the love of the divine. And this is what Sage Narada says. Because then instead of love for the divine, when you go overboard, it will lead you to it will intensify your ego. So we have to understand this. In devotion, sometimes we long, but we create so much pain inside ourselves, which is not necessary. And we give unnecessary, undue suffering to ourselves. And that will not actually lead to the love for the divine. It is actually an ego. Oh, I am loving him. He's not resonating back because now it is fallen by the power of the desire, and from devotion it moves into the fluid state. A state of devotion is free state. So it is not a renunciation either. You don't have any restraint. It is it is discipline. Devotion is a discipline which is called nirodha. And whatever falls away naturally will fall away, and what is meaningful and necessary will remain in this state of devotion. So Narada says, our worldly actions should be performed according to the rules as long as this external knowledge remains, but actions like eating will continue as long as the body exists. So we shouldn't think like, oh, if I fast too much, that is a state of devotion. You have to live in this, even in the external world, you have to live in a state of balance. You accept everything that is there. In devotion, there is a total state of acceptance. So that kind of natural devotion is what makes it powerful. So he calls devotion is very profoundly a sensitive state. It is not eager to make your life ugly, or devotion accepts the beauty of life, acceptance of everything. Here, when they say accepts the beauty of life, they're not asking you to become celibate and shun your family life, not love your kids, go into jungles and be in the woods. You accept everything. You accept all that is given to you naturally from nature and live it completely. You have to live it completely. You don't shun anything. Because ultimately, life is of the divine. In everything, there is divinity. So, ultimate is hidden in everything in life. So, it is appropriate for us to move forward with this understanding that divinity is in everyone and everything. So, you accept everyone and everything. It is difficult sometimes when situations are not good, it is difficult. That is when we use our tools of cleansing and prayers and intentions to remain in that state of devotion. So, Sage Narada says, understand devotion correctly. In devotion, the clutter falls away and what is valuable remains because it is a state of simple and naturalness. It allows you to accept needs. Devotion emphasizes to have all the essentials of life. A state of devotion is sensitive and it accepts the beauty of life, recognizing divine is in everything. And a state of devotion allows a harmonious living. It does not advocate unnecessary suffering. Because some religions have taught that through suffering you have to. So the people left the houses and left the families, went into jungles, starved to arrive at these states of devotion. And in some religions, they beat themselves up. So Sage Narada is very subtly correcting us, our thinking, and giving us the right idea of it. Live harmoniously. See divine in everything around you. Accept everything. Live simple. Live in a natural way. Because when you practice devotion, unnecessary things falls away. It warns us, devotion warns us against using this spiritual realization of ourselves to enhance our own ego. Oh, I know everything. I am devoted. Oh, I love him like I am Radha. All this is already pulled by the desire, and so it has fallen. It is not devoted state. In that state of devotion, it's almost like you're unaware, you are naturally in that state. It's presented as a most simple and natural and effective system of a spiritual practice. Devotion by Sage Narada is presented as most simple, natural, and it is an effective system of a spiritual practice. And that is why Revered Daji also continues to encourage us to move towards that state of devotion. The other day, when I was listening to one of his talks, he was saying, Babuji always sat in the back. And when he entered, he never looked up at his guru. He never even looked. Because in that state of devotion, such highest etiquette is required. And he says that all of us run and sit in front of him. But true etiquette is when you give him that space. And one thing Daji says that always resonates with my heart is like, when a honeybee can find what it wants, even amidst the rocks, it can go deep and find it. In the tiniest flower, it can pick that honey. Will divine not come to pick that devotion from our heart? So that should assure us that the true love that we have, I am telling this to myself also as I share, because we all struggle that whether he knows that we love him, whether he knows I exist. But when we truly have that state of love and start to live naturally, accept everything as divine coming from him, he, the beloved, runs towards our heart because that is the nectar that he is looking for. That is the food for divinity, is the devotion in the devotee's heart. And they're hungry. They don't have many true hearts that can give them that food. So the masters are hungry for picking that devotion from our heart. So they are running towards our heart. So our job is to create this love in our heart, live our lives, share this love with others with no expectation, and live a natural life, not run away from life and see everything that is good in this life. And this today's reading is a short reading from Babuji. And here, Babuji always gives us practical guidance. He's talking about the ocean. I hope you have seen the ocean, which I have also seen. The water looks clear and shimmering, but it also has foam in it. Why is that so? It is because of the high and low tide and the up and down movements of the waves. In spite of this, we call the whole body of water the ocean. In spite of the waves and the foams and everything, the ocean is ocean. Now, here I use the word ocean because it can be compared with the experiences in human life. When we use the word ocean, the idea of foam does not come to mind. Instead, its vastness appears. But when we are in our condition, when we are meditating in our condition, it is surprising how thoughts go towards the foam. When we are meditating, instead of being aware of the vastness of the ocean, our mind is going towards the foam, the thoughts that are leaving. And we are always saying, I'm disturbed, I'm disturbed. Let the foam leave. Remember the ocean. The foam produced in the ocean vanishes before the water reaches the shore. It is quite obvious that the foam was produced in the ocean, but if you think over it, what impression did the foam leave on the ocean? So thoughts have no power on our condition. So do not judge your state of being by the thoughts. Just know that it is just dirt leaving the field. Ignore it. Do not pay attention to it. Pay attention to the ocean of bliss that is present in you, the ocean of love that is present in you, the ocean of light that is present in you. Remember the vastness of that light, the power of that light. In a similar way, thoughts are the same. They are vast by nature. This ocean is called Virat Desh or Brahmanda Mandal, the cosmic region. It is not possible then, when we remain engrossed in ourselves, that the vastness of the ocean in ourselves produces forth. So people wonder, like, if I'm in that cosmic region and I'm experiencing the ocean, why am I still seeing the froth? And if it is produced, then what of that is ours and what could be its effect on us? Consider thoughts to be like the foam in the ocean, produced through the movement of the waves. Foam is produced and dissipates. Now, this foam, this mental disturbance produced in cosmic region? The answer is that the thoughts we have created since the beginning of universe, the thoughts that we created from the beginning of the universe, they keep swimming there. That is the chit lake, the mind lake, and appear in the form of foam to those who remain absorbed in the cosmic region. But since the foam is part of a seeker's own ocean, he considers the disturbance to be his own. So we think that it is our own thoughts, but it has been there. It is just leaving. And here Swami Vivekananda intercommunicates with Babaji Maharaj, and he says, "You have depicted a great philosophy. This is the main cause of thoughts that the seekers generally feel at this stage. You cannot find such a description anywhere, I guarantee. Brother, I consider it as a big weakness if a seeker takes these thoughts as his or her own." So that is another technique that Babaji Maharaj is giving us. When thoughts are coming, think that it's not yours. They're just there, it's leaving. It's like somebody else's child is crying. You hear it, but you ignore it, right? It's not your child, it's not your problem. So he's saying treat thoughts as not your problem. They are just leaving. And it is an attitude that we develop. And that is the training in meditation. In the training of meditation is to ignore the thoughts, let go of the thoughts. And that habit of letting go of the thoughts in the meditation develops this attitude in us that we let go of unnecessary things in our lives and focus on the real thing in our life. Even situations happen. There's so many unnecessary drama that happens. But there will be one little thing, detail that you need to pay attention to. With meditation training, your mind is trained such that you learn to ignore the muck and focus on the real thing. It cannot mean anything except that the feeling of I-ness is still there, especially in people who have a condition like yours. This is often found in learned people as the feeling of I does not go from them. So Babaji is saying, until and unless we learn to let go of the thoughts, that means we are identifying ourselves. The ego is still playing its game. Oh, it's my thoughts. When I have good thoughts, I'm happy. When I have a good dream, I'm happy. When I have a bad dream, I'm unhappy. Neither good dream nor bad dream, they're all the same. They are just foam leaving the ocean. Our focus is on the vastness of the ocean, the vastness of the inner divine presence. So let us all meditate now. This Thursday, we have a holiday in the US, Thanksgiving as it is called, where we consciously convey gratitudes to everybody in the world, in the nature. So we won't have this Thursday session. We will see again next Tuesday. Let us now meditate.